goal accomplished. I don't think I can win this competition, but I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna just,
Mm-hmm.
somebody's got to miss
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I'm playing with house money.
Is what lift am I most impressed with? And I always say it's your squat. That's why I always cheat you out of 2.3 pounds, right? And there's a few reasons for this, because there's a lot of amazing lifts that we've all seen throughout the sport.
True.
Where this was doing something that nobody ever did before. I also am very, very biased towards the squat. Freaking love the squat.
Right.
I'm also very biased towards the reason I love the squat as much as I do is for that strain. If you have that right strain where it's barely moving,
Yep.
I mean, just barely moving. It's kind of like a surfer chasing the perfect wave. You found that perfect wave because that motherfucker barely moved
Right.
the whole time. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I love that, right? Because how many times in your head are you processing all these different things?
Oh, that was a dream, right?
Yeah, it's just, and that right there, that wasn't fucking amazing. It just happened to be that it was 1102.3 pounds,
Right.
and in the biggest stage at the time.
True.
With everybody standing on chairs. I just added to that
Right.
whole thing, but the arena wasn't what was impressive to me, or it was how long it took. It's
Right.
like, man, that's what I've been trying to do, and still,
Right.
trying to do
Put together
this whole time. So that puts a little context, behind that. When you did that, how did you feel after doing it?
How did I feel? I felt amazing. I felt like I had accomplished probably the biggest goal of my life. And in going into that competition, being there, I felt like I didn't have much pressure. There wasn't much pressure on me because I didn't think I had a chance to win the competition. Honestly, I felt like I was because I was competing against Gary Frank and all the other heavyweights.
Oh, that's right, because they were
Yeah, I was clumped in the classes with those guys.
classes.
Right.
What did they call those? Sections? Because they weren't weight classes; it was divisions.
Divisions, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I felt like that was a little, wasn't done right. But I was cool with it. I was fine with it. I had my mind was made up. So, and I know Brent Meixell wanted to also break the record, but my thing was I had no pressure. So, going into it, it was just like, hey, just have a good time. Let's see how it feels. And so I was so loose. I was loose with the crowd. I was loose with everything. My mind was just like I was on cloud nine after I hit my opener and my second attempt. Because my second attempt, I broke the Brent Meixell's record, which was 1074, I think. I think I did 1076. And so they asked me when I wanted to go. I was like, it's 1100, because I got what I came for, really, with the 1076. I said, that's gravy. I hadn't ultimately planned on squatting 1100. The goal was to break the record. You always have a record you want to break, first. Then you want to see how everything else goes. I didn't think past the 1076. I always think that first, and then when I got that, then I thought 1102. So when I did it, afterwards it was so cool because just to do it in that arena, the way everything felt, I mean, the place was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, and I could feel all the energy behind it. And one thing that felt really good is when I finished it was when I came off the platform. You're gonna laugh at this. Ed Corden standing there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is always my
No,
this is the reason why I got motivated. This is the reason why I helped get me out of bed in the morning to because he was the standard at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So to him to be there and see that was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So that felt good. So I felt everything was in the right place. Everything was there. Everything was where I wanted it to be. It was amazing. It was, I couldn't have felt any better.
So going to expand a little bit more, going into the meet, the 1076 is what you went for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that was the record. It was your personal record or the squat record at the time?
That was the squat record. Mike Sell had squatted 1074.
Yeah.
So he was killing it. He was on a roll.
Yeah.
He was just blasting through. Before that, I had squatted 1036. I think it was a year before, and I bummed out of the meet down in Florida at the WPO semifinals. Before that, it was 1032, and I know I had power to squat, just as much as anybody in the world. It's just a matter of putting it together, doing it on, finding the right day to do it. So yeah, my personal best before that was 1036. I mean, I trained heavy in training. I think I did 1050, and plus with other stuff with chains and bands and all kind of crazy stuff. But I'd never put that much weight on my back.
Yeah. What interests me is how frequently we'll see lifters change what they want to do in the meet throughout the whole training cycle. So it sounds to me like this meet, the whole plan was to go there to hit that number,
1076,
and nothing more. Right. So that's now how you're going to get it as a second, as a third. That all plays out how the day feels. Right. So I'm assuming that things felt good in the warm up room. So it's like, look, we'll try this on a second, see what happens, on the third. But you're not thinking about the third.
Never.
Until that second.
Never thought. Wasn't even in my mind. It was opener 1,000. It felt like it. I knew I was on at that point. And then I went to second and I hit it, and it felt pretty good. I'm like, it felt good. And so at that, when I hit it, I was like, goal accomplished. I don't think I can win this competition, but I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna just, if I win, they got to screw up somewhere. Somebody's got to miss something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm playing with house money. That's where I saw it. So I'm like, I'm the small one here. These big heavyweights, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to beat those guys. That's what I felt like. So it left me like, but I was so motivated and so, I felt one way I felt like I couldn't beat them because I shouldn't, because they're just a different weight class. But on the other hand, I felt like I was so amped up. I was very arrogant to myself. I was very cocky to myself, and I knew whatever I put on the bar, whatever I tried that day, I felt like it was, it was just to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, from the point for me asking for the crowd, like, hey, talking to them, to just get into the bar, get under it. I was never nervous, never scared. It was the most confident I've ever felt in my entire life. It was just an amazing feeling. I've never felt like that ever.
And how'd the rest of the day go?
It went great. I got my bench in. What did I bench? I think I missed a third attempt. It didn't go as well. I got 573 that day, and I did a 881 deadlift. And when we got to the deadlift, that's when I knew, like, oh, you might have a chance to win. Like, I think Gary had bombed, and I think Andy Bolton was the next person there. I'm like, I know Andy can pull, whatever. But so be it. They fucked up.
Yeah. So how did it end up?
It ended up I won because I won the meet. So because I think Andy could have called a little bit more, possibly, and probably could have got a little bit more. But he's a good friend. I love him to death. He's a good friend. But whoever was helping him, they messed up that day.
Yeah. Well, there's strategy that goes into this.
Yeah.
That gets a little more whacked when you're in a division like that. Because now you're not just watching one weight class. You got to watch.
Right.
Well, there's no coefficient, right? Because it was just straight up weight.
Yep. Exactly. Whoever totaled the most.
Which is crazy.
I'm weighing, I weighed in at 250, 264, 259, something like that. And he weighed in at like 325. And I got to beat him head up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit. Just do the best you can. That's what I was thinking, whatever. So it's literally, there was no pressure. And so they asked me what I wanted on my third. I said, I think I could pull 9, but I don't think I should try that. I think I need to just try to push and just see how far I need to push him. So at 881, I knew it would make him pull something he never pulled before, which was 930, something like that. And he pulled it, but he needed like 936, and I beat him on body weight because he pulled 931.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out great. It was a amazing feeling. I mean, I remember Herb Glossburner, because they thought when Andy pulled his, they thought he'd beat me. Then Herb Glossburner, yeah, I love Herb. Rest in peace. Herb goes, wait a minute, wait a minute. He stopped everything. Wait a minute. He said, I got Steve is one on body weight. They both got the same total. I'm like, what? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it was at that point, I was like, oh, and I love Andy and them, but they were so pissed. They were mad as hell. And which I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a fuck up. Which you don't have much time. You got to
Yeah.
that's the thing. Strategy in that point. How you working it. That's a tough thing to figure out right there. But they did it the way I would like them to do it.
Yeah. Did you pass your second deadlift to wait to see what he did, or did you pull first, second?
Oh, I pulled
How'd
first,
you run
second,
it?
third. I
Yeah.
opened up at I think my opener was 722.
Mm-hmm.
I went 722, 821, and then I okay, because I wanted to I didn't want to waste any energy. I wanted to warm up to pull whatever rep I needed to pull. So, and the 821 was a joke, and then when I went 881, I knew it would push him to something he's never done before.